My name is Jake Lawson, and up until 2 years ago, I lived the kind of life people scroll past on Instagram. Quiet. Unseen. Average. I grew up in Boise, Idaho. My parents were kind people, hardworking, church on Sundays kind of folks. My dad worked in construction, Mom was a school nurse. We had what you'd call a good enough life. Not wealthy, not struggling. Just safe. And I think that's what I was chasing for most of my life. Safety. Predictability. Until the day I made a choice that would flip everything I knew upside down. It all started in a Target parking lot. I was 28, stuck in a job I didn't love, logistics manager at a regional warehouse. It paid the bills, sure, but every day I'd stare out of my cubicle window at the line of delivery trucks and wonder if this was it. The best I'd ever do. That day in the parking lot, I was helping a woman load her groceries into her car when I heard a strange sound, like a metallic gasp. I turned around and saw a man in a hoodie fiddling under the hood of an old red Honda Civic. His face was scrunched with frustration. "You okay there?" I asked. He looked up, startled. "I think my alternator's fried. I just moved here from Detroit. Don't know anyone yet." "Boise's not exactly the car capital," I smiled. "Pop the hood." Now, I'm not a mechanic by trade. But my dad had taught me enough to get by: oil changes, spark plugs, belts. We spent a lot of Sundays under the hood together, listening to 70s rock and arguing about football. 15 minutes later, I had a decent idea what was wrong with his Civic. "Name's Ron," he said, wiping his hands with a shop towel. "You're good at this, man. You work on cars." I shrugged. "Not really. Just a hobby." "Well, if you ever get tired of whatever you're doing now, come find me. I run a garage on Grove Street. We could use someone who knows their way around a wrench." I laughed politely, said thanks, and walked away. I didn't think much of it, just a random encounter. But that night, as I lay in bed, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Something about the way Ron said, "If you ever get tired," stuck with me. Because the truth was, I already was. The next morning, I clocked in at 7:02 a.m. Same desk. Same spreadsheets. Same artificial lights buzzing above my head. I opened my email and stared at the first subject line: urgent. Q4 shipping estimates revision required. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. And then I closed my laptop. I stood up, walked to my boss's office, and for the first time in my life, I quit a job without another one lined up. I walked out of that building, my heart pounding like I'd just robbed a bank. What did I just do? Later that afternoon, I drove to Grove Street. It took me 20 minutes to build up the courage to walk inside. Ron looked up from under a lifted Ford F-150. "Didn't expect to see you so soon." "I didn't either," I said. "Is that job still open?" He tossed me a pair of gloves. "Hope you're not afraid to get your hands dirty." That was the beginning of the new me. For the first few weeks, I was completely lost. My hands blistered, my back ached, and I didn't know the first thing about working in a real garage. But Ron was patient. He showed me how to do brake jobs, diagnose engine lights, handle customers who swore they just heard a weird noise yesterday. Eventually, I got good. Not great, not yet, but good enough that Ron trusted me with solo work. And here's the thing. I'd never felt that kind of satisfaction before. Not once in logistics. There's something deeply human about fixing things with your hands. It's not just about turning a wrench. It's solving a puzzle, building trust, making things work again. 3 months into the job, Ron sat me down. "You've got a good head, Jake. Ever thought about opening your own place someday?" I laughed. "Me? No. I wouldn't know where to start." He leaned back in his chair. "Neither did I. But someone once told me, sometimes the scariest decisions are the ones that take you where you're supposed to be." That night, I wrote down a dream I'd never said out loud before. Open a garage. Help people. Build something of my own. Fast forward to today. I run Redline Auto and Repair in Boise. The sign out front has my name on it. The first time I saw it lit up at night, I cried in my truck for 10 minutes. I hired 2 guys from the community college's tech program. One of them, Marcus, reminds me of me, quiet, uncertain, but brilliant under the hood. I tell him what Ron told me. Sometimes the scariest decisions are the ones that take you where you're supposed to be. And the best part? It's not about the money. Don't get me wrong, we do fine. But every time a single mom thanks us for not overcharging her, or an old vet drops off donuts just because, I feel something real. Purpose. Pride. Belonging. Last week, a guy named Joel stopped by. He was wearing a suit, driving a brand new Lexus. Said he used to work in logistics. Asked how I made the switch. You sure you want to know? I said. He nodded. So I told him. About the day I quit without a plan. About Ron. About the dirty gloves and the aching hands and how none of it mattered because I finally felt alive. He didn't say much. Just looked thoughtful. And as he got back in his car, he said, I think I needed to hear that. I watched him drive off and thought, maybe that's what this is all about. We all get a moment. A fork in the road. A chance to choose what's safe or what's right. The day I quit my job, I wasn't chasing a paycheck. I was chasing a version of myself I hadn't met yet. And let me tell you something. He was worth finding.